Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Neng Zahra Nafisa and I am a student at INDONESIAN Jati Bandung. Today I'd like to talk to you about the role of pesantren in Indonesian education. Pesantren is one of the oldest educational institutions in Indonesia that has an important contribution to the intellectual life of the nation. This institution deserves to be taken into account in national building in the fields of education, religion, and morals. Historically, pesantren have had extraordinary experiences in fostering, educating, and developing communities. In fact, pesantren are able to increase their role independently by exploring the potential of the community around them. Pesantren have long realized that the development of human resource is not only the responsibility of the government, but also all components of society, including the world of pesantren. Therefore, pesantren that already have historical value in fostering and developing human resource should continue to be encouraged and developing for their quality. Developing the role of pesantren in development is a strategic step in building education. In the current state of the nation's moral crisis, pesantren as an educational institution that shapes and develops moral values must be a pioneer as well as an inspiration to generate reform of nation's moral movement. In this way, development does not become empty and dry from human values. In its existence, pesantren are generally independent and do not depend on the government or existing power. With this independent nature, pesantren can uphold its purity as an Islamic educational institution. Even pesantren are not easily infiltrated by sects or understanding that are not in accordance with Islamic teachings. In this existence, pesantren are generally independent and do not depend on the government or existing powers. With this independent nature, pesantren can uphold its purity as an Islamic educational institution. Even pesantren are not easily infiltrated by sects or understandings that are not in accordance with Islamic teachings. There are at least three main elements that support the existence or absence of pesantren in education, namely kiai as educators, as well as owners of boarding school and students, Islamic boarding school curriculum and facilities for worship and education such as mosques, kiai's house, huts, madrasah, and skill workshop. These elements manifest in the form of activities that are summarized in the Tridharma of Islamic boarding school or Tridharma of pesantren, namely fostering faith and piety to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, developing useful knowledge and expertise, and devotion to religion, society, and state. The purpose of education in pesantren is to experience the knowledge that has been obtained, which is called useful knowledge or ilmu. The purpose of education in pesantren is to experience the knowledge that has been obtained, which is called useful knowledge or ilmu nafi. This is a distinct advantage of Islamic boarding school education, which combines intellectual, emotional, and spiritual intelligence, whose story can build one's character. Uncle Zubaidah said that basically the main function of pesantren is as an educational institution that aims to train Muslims to possess and master religious sciences in depth and to live and practice them sincerely, solely for their devotion to Allah. The pattern of education held by pesantren varies. However, the function it carries out is the same, namely educating and teaching Islamic religious sciences as an effort to create a man who is tafaqquh fid-din. From the description above, it can be concluded that the role of pesantren is not only as a religious institution, but also as an institution of education, scholarship, training, community development, the basis of resistance to invaders, and at the same time a cultural node. Some pesantren in Indonesia have undergone reforms. From the description above, it can conclude the role of pesantren is not only as a religious institution, but also as an institution of education, scholarship, training, community development, the basis of resistance to invaders, and at the same time is a cultural node. Some pesantren in Indonesia have undergone reforms, but there are characteristics of the pesantren tradition in dealing with these reforms. Pesantren still maintain the old tradition that are still good, but do not close to taking new things if they are considered good. Although modernism has swept across the Islamic world, one of which has occurred in Indonesia, there are some pesantren that still maintain the traditional education system, not carried away by the currents of modernism that were heavily brought by Westerners. Thank you for your listening. May all those I have shared be beneficial for all of us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.